Welcome to Quality of Life Radio, hosted by Lisa and Nancy, editors of BigBlendMagazine.com.
Bobbi DePorter is back on Big Blend Radio's Quality of Life show to share some points for parents to consider when evaluating summer camp options. An early pioneer in the applications of accelerated learning, Bobbi is the president of Quantum Learning Network, and she's a co-founder of Supercamp, and she's the creator of the 8 Keys of Excellence Character Education program, and she's the author of over a dozen education-related books, including the 8 Keys of Excellence, Principles to Live By, and her latest is Excellence in Learning and Teaching, the Quantum Learning System, and she co-authored that with Barbara K. Given. And Supercamp is the leading summer academic achievement camp in the world and is known for developing character and building lifetime learning skills in an awesome and nurturing environment. So check them out. Go to supercamp.com. You can also go to QLN.com, especially if you're in the world of education, and they do a lot of work with teachers over there. And Nancy, you and I actually got to sit in and be teachers for a day and learned just how much we need to learn about communication. Bobbi, welcome back to the show. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you.
And I love this. I changed your book title, Principles to Love By. That's my new thing. But Principles to Live By so that you can love. That's a good way of putting it.
Yeah.
And you know, you do so much on our shows, and everyone, if you go to blendradioandtv.com, you'll see Bobbi in our expert department always talking about the 8 Keys of Excellence, and we talk a lot about education and giving kids this opportunity to learn who they are and to make really good decisions. And I'm excited to be running this. We're going to run your article about making sense of camp options for teens in our April-May issue of Parks and Travel magazine, because kids do travel to go to camp, and it's something that they spend their summers with, and it's something, when you think about camp at all, how important is camp in itself, I mean, versus kids staying at home?
Well, it's a break in what their day-to-day is. Students say, I have so much pressure, I'm in school, I've got so many projects, and and then they have technology with them, and for a lot of students, they feel some sense of overwhelm. It's like, how do I do it all? And when they go to a camp or a summer program, that it's a break. It's like, okay, it's different. I have time to explore myself, to meet new people, and just to calm down, because there's a lot of stress in most students' lives during the year.
I think it's important because it puts them in a new place with new friends, so whatever, is great or not so great from where they're at, they get to do something completely new with a fresh set of, mindset.
We sometimes call it a pattern interrupt, because they're used to a certain pattern and consistency of things that are happening, and all of a sudden things are different. New environment, new people, new timing. I'm getting up at a different time, and I'm different surroundings. And all of that, it does something to the brain where it's like you're taking in new things in a different way.
Stimulated.
It's exciting.
Yeah, and I think that's part of what travel does. But at the same time, to me, the best travel is when you learn something new. So that you're thrown into this new environment as a teen coming into a camp at Supercamp, and then next thing you know, hey, I'm learning something and meeting new friends. So it's another chance to put your best foot forward, actually, and become a better you.
At a lot of camps, that they don't know other people. And so then they're not worried about what do people think, or if I try something new, and fail at it, then this is going to carry around with me. These are new people, new experiences, and when they're there, they get to stand tall and try things and get different reactions. And it's usually, the big secret I always say to them is they are themselves, their authentic self. I just get to be me and speak up, find my voice, speak out, and people like me for that. Even if it sounds to them, oh, I'm not sure if that sounds smart enough, or I'm not good enough, and they say something and they get positive feedback for just trying and speaking up, they went, wow, people like me for it.
That's because they're all in the same boat. They're all at the same level of, I don't know anybody here. So everybody wants to be liked by everybody, so everybody gets to be nice.
Yes. Even when siblings come to our program, is we put them on different teams, so we want them to have their own space to explore.
That's interesting. Now, Super Camp, it's an academic learning program. It's an academic achievement camp, but it's more than academics. This is really, they learn how to study, but they're also learning life skills, which is something crucial. Sometimes you don't get that in school. And so can you give everybody an overview of what happens and, where does Super Camp, because it's really happens on campuses, right, around the country and around the world.
Yes, in the U.S., we hold our programs at university campuses, and we've been at Stanford for over 25 years now, so a long time on that campus, and we have other campuses in the U.S. And just what you said is like most students, when they come here, they say, why didn't anybody teach that to me before? Because we assume that students know these things, but we teach them about how to be an excellent learner and discoveries about yourself. So it's effective reading, writing, thinking, speaking, note-taking, memory, all those skills. It's how to be an excellent student, how to show up in the classroom, how to talk to your teacher, where to sit, how to take notes, how to study and review. And when they get it, they feel empowered. It's like, I know how to do this now. And then the life skills is about relationship building and communication, finding your voice, what are your values, how you're leading your life. So it is a transformational program for students. And what I love is we've been doing it for so long that we have so many parents now who attended the program themselves, now sending their children. So second generation.
Yes. Cool. Yeah, it's 35 years now, right? Wow.
Yes, actually we're going into our 37th year this summer.
Wow. You rock. You rock. I love seeing Super Camp on Facebook. And seeing these, hey, flashback, or throwback Thursday to Super Camp in the 80s and the 90s, and I'm like, look at this. This is so cool. Look, there's Bobbi. Hi, Bobbi. But the one thing that's consistent through everything is everyone's smile and your face. I love watching your face. I wait for these photos because your face is just full of total joy, bliss. Like, look at you. How can you be unhappy when you see so many happy kids?
Yes.
It's amazing to me. And I'm like, Bobbi knows what she's doing. She loves what she does.
Well, having done it for 36 years, it's like my moment. When you say joy, if anybody asks me what brings joy, what's my moment, it is the closing session of Super Camp. And I go to as many as I can, and to watch the exuberance of these students because they feel good about themselves and they're excited about life and they want to use, what they've learned, and they've made such great friends. Just seeing their face and excitement, they usually don't want to leave. We have parents come for the closing session, and they're seeing this, and the hardest part is getting them out of the room and to leave the space. That's my moment. That's my joyous moment.
That's awesome, because I think, too, this empowerment is key to everything, because you see what's happening. We look at what's going on in the news in schools, bullying and things like that, and you go, like, a lot of times I wonder how much of these these behaviors are reactive. Depression in kids, anxiety. A lot of times I'm wondering, is it a child just sitting there beating their head against the wall because they can't study properly, and then they have to go to class and maybe stand up and speak or hand in their book report, and they are trying, but they're on this wrong road of learning, and maybe their parents had a hard time learning and don't know. They're not born being a teacher always. You know what I mean? You may be an excellent parent and things, but maybe when it comes to that, you have a problem too. I mean, don't ask me about algebra. That's not going to happen with me. So
yeah, well, don't ask me either.
I know. So there's things, and I wonder, how far that goes of empowering kids not only to just crack that open, to solve something that they're silently stressing on, and everyone's going, you need to get an A, or you know what I mean, that pressure, and yet there's going to be just this one little way of learning that suits them better than what they've been doing that no one told them about.
All right. I know when we call them mini success moments, the way that we teach to reach all students, and put out information gradient in steps, and then when they have these little success moments, it's like, oh, okay, it builds self-motivation to keep trying. They talk about what are things in your comfort zone, what is easy for you, and what is that? And then we look at what's in your learning zone, what's a stretch, and what's way out there is a stretch. So they look at also getting support from other students, or what do they need to get support in. Maybe someone is in their comfort zone in algebra, and for you it's a way stretch out. Partnering with other students and, hearing, and maybe you're supporting them in something that's, a stretch for them. So those mini success moments go a long way. And for students to look what they want, I want a good grade, I want to get into college, I want to have friends, and everything that's out there with what they want, and then those are those things that could be way stretch in their comfort zone. But sometimes students don't try because they're afraid to fail. That failure leads to success key, or I'm afraid to look bad. What's my image? Am I going to be embarrassed? So I won't even try. If I just stay with the mantra, I'm not good at this, and not try, well, nobody will blame me for that. But if I try and people see me failing, so we really work on their image of, that what success is giving your best effort and trying things, and what did you learn, and what will you do differently next time. And to have that kind of mindset is really exhilarating for students.
Yeah, I think when you have a student who is kind of defined as a loner, that's and maybe they are, maybe they just think and react differently than other children. But I always think that that's a child that maybe needs a little more communication. I know, because I was always called a loner, and it really was. It's a defense mechanism in a lot of cases. And I think that camp is kind of a brilliant solution for putting your child in a new environment so that these things can come out in a pleasant way, in a way that shows a solution, as opposed to a discipline way.
Yeah. And there's so many types of camps that are out there. That the American Camp Association have a slogan, camp does a kid a world of good, and that we have students that come to our program and they've been to 2 other camps before they get to us, whether it's sports or tenets or traditional camp, or, there's a whole array that can fit interests, whether it's a writing camp or what that is. And so that's what, looking at the students' interest, but it's also beyond, when students come to our program, where sometimes it's a misconception. They think that, it's like summer school. And, for students that are having a hard time in school, you don't need them to go to summer school and get more of what's not working for them. So when they find that it's a whole new environment, and oh my goodness, I'm having some successes, and I'm actually having that shift where I'm loving to learn, that's what we're going for.
I think that's the thing, is tapping into an interest, and that comes into understanding your child. So as a parent, do you sit down with your child and go, okay, let's look at summer camp options together? How should that work?
Well, there's a whole array, because if you're wanting to reinforce what their interests are, whether it's a sport, if somebody is into a particular sport, they're probably very open, to going to a sport camp in that area. If they have a writing interest or a computer interest, whatever that is, they'll have interest. What we find, though, is there's also programs that feel like for students it could be a little fearful. I don't know what it is. It's different. I like things the same, and I like to know what they are. So it's also encouraging your child to stretch and try new things, and with the opportunity of learning, because there's so much benefit on the other side, but they always don't see it when it's like, oh, it's a new experience. I won't know anyone.
So when you think about it, a lot of kids go, I don't want to go to summer camp because they think it's summer school, or they're just like, I don't want to be out of, I don't want to break out of my comfort zone. So any words of advice for parents on how to say, you're going to jump out of your comfort zone, spread your wings. See, that was the
sometimes
Speak with Good Purpose key of excellence, everybody.
Well, some of it is looking for interest and talking about what's come out of it or looking at videos, but at some point it's being a parent too and saying, this is something I'm making a decision for you. What we're finding is more and more parents afraid to be a parent and actually make a decision for their child when they think it's best and that they'll learn because, that there's just being, there's the term helicopter parent, and now they even use the word drone parent, is doing whatever the child likes and not stepping up to be a parent and giving them guidance. And students, young people do need guidance and mentorship, and there are some decisions that a parent needs to make.
I think if you just always let your kids do what they want and have what they want, that in the end they're going to feel uncared for.
Yes. And there is something out there,
you don't care.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
We do such a focus on acknowledging effort, too, that most things in life take work. It's not like, oh, I don't want to do this, or it's not fun, or this. There's a lot of things that you achieve that you want, and it does take discipline and work and effort. So where we put the focus on is not just acknowledging the top grade or the A. We like to acknowledge effort. Wow, I saw that you really sat down for a half hour and really focused on, on studying for this, or that you reached out to a friend that's good at it and had a conversation and connected. I see you putting in the effort to doing well in here.
That's a big role just for everybody to learn in life in general, like acknowledgement of things that people do, and to say, hey, I'm aware. I think that's something that's really important. One thing too, I wonder about, when parents look at, financially they're investing in this, right? Looking at camps. Do you have to look at, hey, do you go and say, let's go see, through the Better Business Bureau, are they good? Do they have complaints? How do you know about the staff? I think that's an important thing because just like you send your kids to schools, you want to know, are the teachers qualified? I mean, is it a safe place? That kind of thing. What do you recommend for that?
Yes. Well, one is the American Camp Association does have very high standards, and it takes a lot being accredited with them. It's a major focus for us to go through all of their standards and making sure that you pass on every one or excel on every one of these standards, and they're extensive. So you really have to. There's a lot that they put into a safe environment and emotionally safe for the child. So one is, are they accredited program? And then also you can look at the reviews and search on the internet. One thing that to be mindful of is looking to see, are the majority, positive. You can have, one parent who doesn't like the food, or something that will put something on the internet that looks like it's very negative. So you really have to weigh what you're reading. The other is talking to other parents who have sent their children to a particular program. So I find that very good. Is always recommend that parents talk to other parents who have been attending the program, and also have they returned. They come back. And another is who are the instructors and the staff members? What is their expertise and what kind of training? We put so much of our focus on finding the most engaging, positive staff members out there. We look for the best teachers, one that are positive, engaging, and then we put them through 150 hours of training before their first program. So we put a lot of focus on the training. I know other programs, some of them will just pick people on a certain topic and have them training students. And, one thing is knowing the content, and another is how do you engage and interact and make connections so it's long-term. And then, of course, the balance of learning and fun. We do want the students to come away thinking that it's joyous and one of the most fun experiences I've had. and that I've made new friends and walk away. So I would say, searching on the internet, going to the American Camp Association and talking to other parents.
Okay, that's important. I think that's really important, because it's an investment, and you want your child to get the most out of it, obviously. And so now they go spread their wings and enjoy that. Now, when people come to or kids come to Super Camp, do they return again?
Yes, we do have students return again, and they get lifelong skills by attending one program in their shifts. But when they come back, they always go deeper. This is going into our 37th year, and I've been going to super camps every summer. And I sit into our classes and our sessions, and I'm always learning new things, new nuances. Some student asked a question, and I'm learning it in a new way. So it's always a new experience when they come back and can go deeper with the learning. Yeah. And it's all about the long term. What I love is that talking to parents who attended, some of them 30 years ago, 30 years ago, and they're still using things. Not only are they using things, but they're teaching it to their own children. I talk to the parents sometimes. It's like, what stuck with you? What are you still using? And what did you, teach your son or daughter, and then having the son or daughter go through, and then having them being able to talk about and share that experience.
I remember doing radio shows at QLN at the Quantum Learning Network at your conference center, and you had some of the parents there and the students, and one of the biggest things for both, like the parent and the student, was the communication between the two. That was the thing where it's like maybe a parent would go like, you're being a brat now, you're being the typical teenage brat kind of deal, and the child would be, the teenager would be like, oh, Mom, you're being the typical parent, that whole dialogue. And the respect level had totally changed, and the communication doors and understanding, there was this different dialogue for both, and genuinely happy. That was like amazing to see that, and for them to be 100% honest and just say, yes, this helped us get past these hurdles. We moved on and being happy about it. So I think that is something really, really big to get.
It is, because parent-child relationships, when they go through elementary school, oftentimes the younger children, that's like, oh, that's Mom and Dad, this is great, we share. And then when they get into adolescence, that the children start to shut down or disappear because they're off with their friends and they don't want to share with their parents. One of the exercises that we do at Super Camp that is just so powerful is that we have 2 flip charts. In the first one, we have the students put up on there, call out, what are things that you're annoyed by, your parents annoy you by, what you don't like about your parents. And, of course, they're putting stuff up, and sometimes they'll laugh because, wow, I put one up, and everybody and all the other students are going, yeah, okay. So they fill up a flip chart, and then we have them pause, and then we have another flip chart, and then we say, okay, now call out everything that you like about your parents. And then they start out putting things in, and pretty soon they're calling out so much, and they fill up that flip chart. And to be able to see both of those things, and then we have them close their eyes, and we say, okay, imagine that you are now your parent. Okay, when you open your eyes, you're the parent. And so when we talk to them as the parent, we say, okay, parent, what annoys you about your son or your daughter? And so the kids are now putting up, oh, they stay up too late, they don't talk to me, and they put up all these things and they fill it up. And they're really almost more reflective now. It's like, oh my goodness. And then when they have, as a parent, put up on the other flip chart, is like, okay, parent, tell me everything you love about your child. And I'm getting choked up right now. I can feel the emotion, because it's such an emotional moment for the kids to say, oh my gosh, I'm my parent, and putting up what they imagine the parent loves about them. It's such a shift, and they see their parents in a whole new way.
Wow.
Cool.
Parents, book now.
I think there should be a camp for parents.
No, I mean, I know. I think that, I know. When are you going to do Super Camp Parents?
Yeah.
Parents Retreat. I know.
Wouldn't it be fun?
Just so that they can stay in the dorms, in the college dorms. I think that's the other thing that is so neat is you're putting them in a college environment, which gives them like, okay, we're treating you a little bit older in a way, right? And also gives them an idea of what college is. So doesn't that bridge that fear gap of college by actually going and staying in a dorm? And it's good good for the colleges.
It is.
Yeah. I see
that.
Yeah,
they sleep in the dorm, they eat in the cafeteria, they're walking across campus, they're in classrooms. So yes, it's not so foreign to them, and this is a safe environment, and it's all structured. They're never left alone. They're always with others. But to experience the college campus with others and walk around it, we have so many students that go attend Super Camp on a particular campus, and then afterwards they really focus, well, I think I might want to attend this campus. What do I need to do, so that I would be accepted to this campus?
That's exciting, I think.
College campuses are exciting.
They're so beautiful, too. I love campuses. I could just go walking. It's my 1 hour walk on a campus.
I just have to say, one summer camp or a summer thing that I went to, I saw Simon and Garfunkel. I was going to a marine biology class.
There you go.
And with a group of friends from my high school, and we saw Simon and Garfunkel.
So there you go. You never know what could happen.
You never know who'll be there.
Yeah, they were just practicing under a tree, and I'm like, I want to go here.
Yes.
Flashback Nancy. I like that. I mean,
it's funny.
Well, I think there's something that it's just college is like that part of like, okay, I'm an adult now. I'm still weak at the knees, you know what I mean? You still got that little, like, I don't know everything, and I'm here to learn as much as I can. And I think that excitement about going to summer camp, on a college, on an actual campus, and just getting to have that, look at everything and see and imagine and dream about it. Because there's a lot of kids out there that are already dreaming about campus and going to college and what campuses they want to go to. They already have that. I want to be a doctor. I want to be this or whatever it is, marine biologist. And I do want to see Simon Garfunkel. Sorry, that's not going to happen. But,
But you feel very adult.
But you're going
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You do. You feel like really adult.
Even when I go on a campus, a college campus, I suddenly start walking different. I'm like, okay, it's time to get serious, Lisa. There's something different.
It does happen when you're in a different environment. You start taking on the persona of being on that, in that environment.
Wow, I love this. And so this is really about enrichment for your child when they go in and thinking those skills, life skills. We're not talking about how to sew a button or to make toast or boil an egg, but we're talking about real decision making and really communicating, but learning how to study. And I think we've talked about that on shows over and over again. I think that's one of the most important things is learning how to study and understanding where you fit, because it's something you talk about you write about in your books, is understanding how to learn. And so can you go through that, because some are audio, some are visual, right? And I know, Bobbi, you're writing notes right now. That's how you
yeah, I know. I write when I think.
Yeah.
But yes, we take in information in different ways, and it's with the visual, auditory, kinesthetic. Now, all of us take in information with all three modalities. So, it's not like this black and white line. It's molding, but we have preferences, and we have preferences that stick with us more than one than with the other. But using strategies for all three reinforces learning for all of us. I so wish I had known this when I was in school, because my visual is so high. As you say, when I'm talking, I'm writing. When I'm listening to somebody, I'm writing. It's just, I could throw the notes away afterwards, but the physical writing is helping me make connections and think as I'm talking or listening. But for me, for all people, having visual notes up on the walls, content you're trying to learn, there's a subconscious. it's always, your subconscious is always taking in things that are up on the wall and listening, your environment. You're always taking it in, so you create an environment that's reinforcing your learning. And then the auditory, they're repeating back word for word, and they're more sequential, and they're repeating back in their mind. And sometimes they can learn something, hear it, and then stop, and then repeat it back, almost verbatim, because it's a sequential, taping. It's like an tape is going on in their head. And so my audio is very, very low, and I always think about when I was in middle school and trying to learn Spanish. I was pretty much an A student, and I was flunking Spanish, and it's like, what a disconnect. It's like, why am I not getting this? And if I had known, someone needs to visually, sound out these words and chunk them and let me see them in different colors and, by syllable, and I need to hear it a different way or see it and learn it, and then I could repeat it back. And it would have made 100% difference for me, I know. And then the kinesthetic, where they want to move, and they may walk and talk it out, and it's that movement. But just for kids to understand the concept, and again, I just want to make it clear that it's not black and white. It's not like an excuse. But using all of these modalities to learn and know what your preferences is, it's a big aha for students. It's one of those, why didn't anybody tell this to me before? And I want to say, particularly in reviews, one is learning the information and learning strategies as you're learning it. And then the other is these frequent reviews. We call them multimodal reviews, visual, auditory, kinesthetic reviews or strategies, and make those repetitive. Review, just a little later that same day. Review the next day, at the end of the week. And it keeps building when you review in different ways, when you have content on your walls, when you're talking with a partner and telling it back to them, when you're doing body motions for certain made points. All of that just makes it rich learning. And, to learn, we have to pay attention, too. That's another one, is that you have to focus. Because how many times is something happening, somebody's lecturing, and your mind's on what you're doing later that day or night, or a stress, an uncomfortable conversation, your mind isn't on what it needs to be. So another is focus on the one thing, and we teach students how to focus on the one thing so that they can make those connections.
That's excellent. I think this is, these are, like you say, these are life skills. And they will get you forward in going to college, going through your career as well. This is something important in how to handle, an office environment or, whatever kind of environment you are in your career. It's really important because then you know how to lay plans out, how to formulate goals. And I think it's so interesting when you talk about, teens coming back in the second year, in the third year. I can see going in the first year, seeing all these aha moments like, wow, but are you going to be able to implement them all at once, right? As soon as we learn something doesn't mean we become master of it all in a day, right? Failure leads to success. And you want to go back the second time to go, okay, I've been doing this, and I think I'm doing good here. I need help on this. Wait, I need to strengthen this part, because you can't do it all in one time. So I see that importance of, it's like why you stay in school for the number of years you do, because you need to get it all. You have to get the foundation and then build and build and build. So what is like the average number of years a student will go to Super Camp?
Well, we have about 20% that just come back the next year. But we also have students that come back year after year because they want to be a team leader, and we also have a number of our facilitators that were students themselves at Super Camp, and then they were a team leader while they were in college, and then some of them went into education or psychology, and then they come back and work for us because we've been around so long that, it's like, okay, when did you... I had one student say this, I've been to Super Camp eight times, and I looked at him and I said, oh my gosh, how old were you when you started?
Yeah. That's amazing. I love this. It's such a cool, positive thing, and I think that we need more of this in the world, and you're doing it obviously not just in this country, around the world. And I think that's so making the giant shift. Before you go, Bobbi, we always talk about the 8 keys of excellence, and we've talked about a few keys. Speak with good purpose is up on my wall lately. That's a big one lately, but I want to say that it's so important. That's your foundation for everything, is the 8 keys of excellence. So, and it's also a family program. If everyone goes to 8keys.org, that's number 8, 8keys.org. Can you go over the 8 keys? Because I want people to just have an idea about these, because they are the principles to live by.
Yes, they are. They say it's principles to live by, and it's a set of principles that guide you through your life, and they become that core of who you are. So we have 8 keys of excellence. We have integrity, match behaviors with values, failure leads to success, learning from mistakes. Such a shift in thinking that's so powerful. I want to say so powerful after each one of them, because their stories,
they are.
What a difference that they make in students' lives. Speak with good purpose, what you mentioned, speak honestly and kindly. And it's like the intentions of our word, where we think before we speak. This is it. Make the most of every moment. Commitment. Make your dreams happen. Ownership. Take responsibility for actions. It's really owning our choices, and for students to really know that they do have a choice, but they own the results of their choice. Flexibility. Be willing to do things differently. And balance. Live your best life.
Can't go wrong with that, man. It's seriously true. I mean, we go around getting stories from people about the 8 keys, and even in some of our tourism seminars, we use it, and it's just so interesting to watch people have those little aha moments. So you see the light bulb go off, and there'll be a particular key. Like right now, today is speak with good purpose. Yesterday was flexibility. Actually, yesterday was balance.
I was going to say
balance because I was in my zone.
Because it made me balanced.
I know, it's balance, and you have every day you could go, okay, this is my lesson of the day, and I've taken the 8 keys and looked at whatever comes your way. Look at the key that whatever you want to do that may not be a good reactionary thing. Look at the key, and you'll find the lesson in whatever happens. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
But it's true. And it changes every day. And when we talk to people in person, you can see their eye light up on them and get the whole thing. And once they get the whole 8 keys idea, then they're like, oh, this is super cool. But there's a specific key at that point that's just hitting home to them. It just resonates, like, boom, this is going on in my life. And I think that every day we go through so many different situations, and once you become once they're ingrained in you, then your life changes in that you start to really make decisions according to excellence, according to, okay, I'm going to have to use this key right now. And so you start looking at the set of keys in your decision making, and it's just it's awesome, man. It's really awesome, because you do make better decisions and you don't run on reaction.
It's a foundation.
Yeah. It's I think everyone can we start with babies with this? I mean, really, I think every age needs this.
We do have another set of definitions actually for primary. So.
Oh wow.
We have. I'll have to send those to you, because like integrity, that's a big word, but we define it in primary of just do the right thing, and so it's little definitions that fit to that age.
Oh, we'll have to do a segment on that, because that's really cool. That's really cool, because I just think everybody needs them as soon as possible, because why not,
Yes, we also have a set of nursery rhymes, 8 keys of excellent nursery rhymes.
Oh, wow. Well, here's another, we see this. We're never done talking about the 8 keys. And for every baby that's being born, your first word needs to be excellence. Good luck with that.
Yes.
I love that. Bobbi, thank you so much. We always appreciate our time with you. It's always so positive and enlightening, and it is empowering. Everyone, supercamp.com. Now's the time. This movement, because
time to get there.
Supercamp's in June, July? When does it all start?
We start at the end of June, so they go through end of June, July, and halfway into August. So summer programs.
Get moving on that, everyone. Supercamp.com. Again, the 8 Keys of Excellence is 8keys.org. Again, that's a number 8keys.org, and it's a free family program there. And Bobbi's article, you can read it on nationalparktraveling.com. Just type in summer camp, or just type in Bobbi, Bobbi, and you'll find her articles there, and also on blendradioandtv.com. Thank you so much, Bobbi.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Take care.